Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Home Staging Talk Show Live. I'm Jenny Norris, your host, and our talk show is brought to you by the International Association of Home Staging Professionals. And Home Staging Talk Show Live is a conversation within the home staging industry with different companies and individuals who run businesses or want to be part of the industry or our sister industry. And just like to chat about what's working, any challenges people have, and help educate people and help you be as successful as you can. So I'm happy to be here. And let me get rid of this little thing here. So it's covering up the face there. There we go. So I appreciate you all tuning in. And the last couple of weeks, of course, we had did not have our show. And that is because my father passed away. So I wanted to thank all of you who have messaged me on Facebook or written comments. That was really heartfelt, and I appreciated all the kind words of support. And here's my little thing. Here's my dad. So he passed away on the 21st, and you can kind of see in the little picture that our family was all able to be there with him before he exited this life and went on to the next. So I know that one day we'll be reunited, but it's been a interesting couple of weeks. And I know a lot of you who've lost parents, you can understand. I've likened it to now being a member of a club I really didn't want to join. And so Joanne Lynette Weir, I don't know if she's watching or not, but you had messaged me that a lot of our colleagues, because we're all, similar ages and so forth, that we're all going to be experiencing some of this in the near future. So I just want to share that the camaraderie and the support from everybody was really, really wonderful. And, some of your comments, they made me cry, and but they just really made me feel loved and valued. So thank you, everybody, for that. And I miss my dad, and someday I will see him again. So until then, I have all my memories of him, and just, thankful that I was able to be there. So with that, go ahead and take this down. Okay, so we have a great show for you today. I have a couple of announcements we're going to get to first, and then we're going to bring on Liv Conlon, who is from England, the UK, and she's going to talk to us about her business and how she got started and so forth. And the series we're starting this week is The Rise of the Young Stager. So we're going to have her on this week, and the next week will be Joseph Sipp. Then I have going to be contacting a couple other people who are in that age group where, back when I got started, I was 38 when I got started, and I was the youngest person for 2 years in a row at our annual conference. And then finally the third year, I wasn't the youngest anymore. But the industry certainly has changed and is definitely attracting a younger age group and demographics. So we definitely want to hear their stories, and maybe this will inspire you, or maybe you can share this with somebody who's in your life that is that same age group and is, wondering what do they want to do with their life and business. And I think it's pretty awesome. So we'll be bringing her on shortly. But before that, we are going to talk about Vegas market. So last week, we had the privilege of being able to go to Las Vegas and see all the wonderful, furniture and decor that's coming out, and to see the trends and so forth. And so I don't know if you were able to catch some of the things that we were doing there. The team arrived Saturday, Sunday, so there was a lot of people representing the association and so forth. And our goal was to not only see what the trends are, but also to partner with the vendors and companies that we had networked and partnered with this past year. And then, of course, add people to that list. So we want to bring even more resources to all of our members and so forth. So we had a great time. This is a picture here of us with, let's see here. I'm learning how to do this show. So the Scott brothers, of course, were there, and they have several lines that are featured in Las Vegas. And so they did a quick filming in one of the showrooms. I believe it was Coaster. And then they had breakfast they were providing, and there was a long line of people who were able to take pictures. So it was kind of fun. And they remembered who we were. So we got a fun picture with them. And then as we went around the showrooms, I just want to quickly put up some of the things that we saw there. some of the inventory. So I'm gonna take myself out of the frame and I'll add myself back in so you guys can see. Very fun. All right, so get rid of these. So what we are doing for High Point Market is we will be doing a tour. So those of you that are interested in attending and learning how to shop wholesale market, you definitely want to sign up for that. So that is going to be April 8th, and that'll be at High Point Market, which of course is in North Carolina. And we will be taking people around the different showrooms to key vendors. We'll teach you how to shop, how to read the tags, how to navigate that whole process. And of course, we are working hard to set up arrangements with companies that will do things like waive the minimum orders or reduce the shipping. One of the companies we're talking to is even talking about doing a free shipping or free freight twice a month for our members, which would be great. That'll help drive business to them and help you save money. So we're excited for that. So look for that in your email and also on social media, because again, we'll be promoting that. But those of you who are watching, you know, it's one thing to listen to something online or, you know, read articles on shopping market. It's a whole different animal to actually experience it in person with people who that's what they do. They go and shop market, they know how to navigate it, and they can help guide you and give you critical information that'll save you a lot of time and frustration. So take a look at that. Of course, our conference is coming up. So October 3rd to the 5th in Nashville. So we're going to rock your business, and ROCK, of course, stands for resources, opportunities, connections, and knowledge. And you're going to have all of that at the conference. And so tickets are on sale right now. We'll be announcing something very special coming up for hopefully this week as far as additional keynote speakers. And then all of you that submitted your topics to speak, the goal is to get all of that released this week and to notify those of you that will be sharing at the conference. And we appreciate everybody who turned in topics and suggested ideas and so forth. It's going to be chock full. So we're going to have a packed schedule, but there'll still be plenty of time for networking and getting to know colleagues from all over the globe. Actually will be there. So go to ihospconexpo.com and you'll be able to see all the information as far as the schedule, the speakers. Once we announce them, they'll go up on the site there, and the ticket fees and so forth. It's going to be really fun. So hopefully you'll all be joining us there. Looking forward to it. The conferences are always really valuable. I've never missed. I've gone since 2003. I've gone every year. So again, October 3rd to the 5th in Nashville, and where we will be doing a dinner cruise on Friday. Now, those of you that are kind of squeamish about being on the water or you get seasick, listen, that's me. I made myself sick snorkeling. just from like bobbing on the water. So this is a big ship, and it's a river. So it's not like the ocean, and it barely moves. So don't be concerned about your, choppy waves or you feeling unstable. And it's, we'll be out on the water for a couple of hours, and it just kind of, goes really slowly down the river, and then they come back the same way. So it's going to be a lot of fun. And of course, the theme is denim and diamonds for our Friday night awards dinner. And so we're going to have a lot of fun. So don't be concerned about that. Believe me, I did consider that because I get very easily motion sickness. So I would not do that to you. All right. So I had some other pictures to put up here, but they are, they're not showing up, which is weird. So by Friday, we're going to have a huge announcement we'll release. I'm hoping sooner than that. So keep your ears poised. Look for social media announcements. We'll be announcing 2 more fabulous keynote speakers that you're all going to be super excited to meet. And then are also our speaker lineup. So stay tuned for that. We bring great quality people to you in a variety of topics. So there'll be things for beginners. There'll be topics for advanced sessions for advanced stagers, and then general sessions for people that are in between. So you'll have a lot to pick from. And like we did last year, we will film everything. And so if you're not able to attend a particular session, you'll be able to access the footage, the videos after conference from our site. So I'm really looking forward to that. All right. Let's see here. So Liv, I had a bunch of pictures I pulled from your site, and for some reason they're not showing up. It's so weird. It's like so I had pulled a bunch of them. That's a bummer. So I have one picture. I had your articles. I had your face, and it's weird. All of a sudden they have completely disappeared from the Be Live lineup here, which is a shame. So make sure to register for conference. Don't forget to do that. Go to iHospCon Expo and get your tickets now, because the prices will be going up, I believe, in March. So you have about a month before the prices start to creep up. So, all right, with that, learning how to do the production of the show. All right, so here is the topic. So it's the rise of the young stager. So we're really excited to be able to speak with Liv Conlon, who will be joining us. And so I'm going to bring her on. So Liv, it'll give you a countdown. And there she is.
Hello, how are we?
Or should say good afternoon.
Good. Yeah, it's actually 5:30 where I am, as I'm in Marbella at the moment. So it's lovely in Spain.
Let's see. Liv, I can't hear you. Can you guys hear her, or can you hear me?
Can you hear me now? I think my.
So your audio, Liv, your audio is not working.
Okay.
And I don't have you muted on mine. So check your audio.
Okay, no problem. A second.
Let's see. Let's see here. So hi Karen, hi everybody. So I see people writing comments. Dang it. All right. You're not muted. That's muted. Now I didn't mute you. So check your audio. Are you using your cell phone? No, yes. Liv, how are you coming on the show? Are you using cell phone? Computer?
Yeah.
So there must be an audio setting that we have to get fixed here. Oh, she says she can hear you. Oh, that is so weird, but I can't hear her. That is bizarre. All right, so we'll just have some fun here. I won't be able to hear your answers, but I'll probably hear it when it plays back.
Okay.
Okay, so, okay, everybody, this is a new one. So, okay, Liv, so tell everybody who you are and where you live.
Okay, hi everyone. My name is Liv Conlon, and I own the company, The Property Stagers. So I founded The Property Stagers when I was just 16. I left school. I had, the grades to do whatever I wanted at university, but I decided that I wanted to own a home staging business. So the Property Stagers work throughout the whole of the UK. So we furnish properties from Glasgow all the way to London, and we furnish about 300 properties a year. And
I'm trying to find the page.
furnished properties for sale, for serviced accommodation, which is like Airbnb type properties. And we also furnish properties for HMO too. So yeah, every property we furnish is completely unique. I have a team of 10 employees. We have great fun and we put original artwork. So we have in-house artists in our business. We have a team of stagers. We manufacture our own furniture. So it's quite a big operation.
Okay. What I've done, I have my cell phone, so I'm listening to you, and there is a delay. Okay. I have a team of 10 employees.
Wow.
We have great fun, and we put original artwork. So we have in-house artists in our business. So we have. Sorry, I don't like that there's a delay. So anyway, but I don't want to be like blind trying to talk to you.
Yeah,
so anyway, Liv has built a huge business. I have my cell phone, so I'm listening. Okay, so there's about a 15-second delay or so. So she's built this huge business. So talk about how when you were, 14, 15 years old, and listen, I have 4 kids that are 19, 20, 23, 24, 22, 24. How old is Steven? Anyway, I think he's 22 and 24, or maybe 23. Anyway, so when they were a teenager and in school and so forth, the thought of them thinking about launching a business, most parents are like, wow, boy, I'd love if my kid did that. So how did you get that idea? Because I know you've shared with me, and everybody on her site, by the way, there's all these really great newspaper articles, and she's won all sorts of awards. I don't know if you shared that because I didn't hear, but you're not the average teenager. Let's just put it out there. However, I think it's awesome that somebody at your age found their passion so early. So when you were 14 or 15, what was going through your head?
I think for me, I've always known that I wanted to have my own business. It's never really been like an option. I had my first business when I was 13.
I can't hear her, but
I imported nail foils from China and then sold them online via eBay. So yeah, I've always known that I wanted to have my own business and be my own boss. So when it came time to leave school, it wasn't really a question. I've always known. And yeah, I hated school as well. I was bullied at school. It wasn't a very nice time for me. So when the time came to leave, I was totally ready for that.
All right. So this is so bizarre. All right. I have 2 phones. I'm sorry, Liv. Now I don't hear anything on my end. Okay, here we go. 16 minutes in. Okay, so did you talk about you went to the seminar and you and your mom attended?
Yes.
So yeah, so she
on you go. Sorry.
How this, the vision and how you explained it to me when we were messaging back and forth. Having the opportunity to invest in the properties and so forth, and the light going on in your head. So you staged that first property, and how did you know that's what you really wanted to do versus staying on the path of working with your mom, just working on flipping the properties?
Yeah, so the business started because my mum was selling a property and it was on the market for 3 months and we couldn't sell it. So I decided to stage it and it sold within 3 days above the asking price. So I think at that point, I'd always had a love for interiors and knew that this is what I wanted to do. I have a really good eye, and then I just went out networking in my local area at different, and spoke to different property developers. And for me, it was definitely a choice to give the service to property investors more than it was homeowners. So that was just a decision that I'd made.
And those of you watching, also, if you could do us a favor, share the segment because that helps us reach as many people as possible. All right. So, and I have seen, some of your work is on your page. I did want to throw up one picture here. I had a bunch I pulled. So this one we can show This is an example of a living room staging that they did. I love this, and the colors you used and so forth, really, really great. What I saw when I looked at your pictures is it's not, a lot of people think like properties over in Europe that you're using little dinky furniture, things that are, you know, props, if you will. And if you take a look at her work, go to her website and so forth. It's full-size furniture. I learned this morning, you and I were messaging back and forth, that you actually manufacture your own furniture. So you could share a little bit about how that happened. Talk about also the capital investment, like when you got started, was did you have a cash infusion, or did you just build as you go? Because obviously to manufacture your own pieces, I'm not sure how that operates for you, but usually there's a outlay of money up front and so forth. So how did that happen? Was there an investment?
So when I first started the business, I had no money, as I was just straight from school. So I had, I'd never had a job before. And one of the ways I built the business was I got a client. They then paid the invoice, and then I bought the furniture with that money. And to start with, I was just buying furniture from IKEA and other furniture shops here in the UK. And I would put it all on the property. Once the rental was up, I would then get another client and move it on to the next property. And then that would then be profit. So that's how I started. As we then began to grow, we grew into the rest of the UK, so servicing a much bigger area. And that's when we started to manufacture our own furniture, as it was going to be cheaper to do it because we were doing it on like bulk and just better quality. So yeah, it was sort of like a natural progression for us. And now we have a delivery team that goes out and installs. And if we do have any issues, we can offer a 3-year guarantee on the furniture as well. But that isn't very often ever called upon. The furniture is really good quality, so it usually lasts much longer than 3 years.
So you have how many properties staged at any given time? I think is the number around 100.
So we furnish properties, and the furniture is bought at times, and then we furnish properties and the client rents the furniture. So really at any given time, we usually have about 20 properties staged for sale, but we do 300 properties a year. So it's a mix of both people renting furniture and people buying the furniture as well.
Okay. So she's about 20, which is really great. So by the way, your accent, I love. I just want to share that.
Thank you.
She's so cute, isn't she? You're beautiful, and her look. I saw you've had dark hair, and I love this color you have. She's very chic. So I can't wait to meet you in person. By the way, everybody, she will be coming to the conference in the fall. She'll be one of our speakers, so we're very excited to have her sharing. Let's talk about the project you did at the Christmas time. So, we do Worldwide Staging Service Week, and we have chapters that give back to their communities and so forth. Let's talk about what you did as an individual company, which is super amazing and impressive.
Thank you. Yeah, so I had read an article that 80,000 families in the UK will be in temporary accommodation at Christmas time. And I felt for a long time that I wanted to do something to help people that was based around our business. So we held the 100 Home Christmas Makeover. And what that was is we went into 100 homes within the UK for families that were going to be homeless at Christmas. And we gave them a makeover. So we put in a Christmas tree, lots of accessories, cushions, artwork. And we've done that both in Glasgow in Scotland and also London. So yeah, that was super rewarding. It was incredible. And we helped a lot of families. And it was so nice to make their Christmas that little bit more special.
I'm listening in my ear. So So yeah, I think that's so she, giving that many people that much joy at Christmas time, as an individual and somebody who's so young, you really are a great role model for so many young people. A lot of times the teenagers, and having had raised four of them, I now hear myself in my ear. They oftentimes don't really know what to do. They're kind of inside themselves. And for you to figure out how to give back at such a young age is really amazing. And to touch that many people's lives, I think it's such a great example. And again, on her site, and I did have the article, I don't know why it disappeared off Be Live, but it showed you were featured in the newspaper, local publication for this. And I know you didn't do it to get accolades. It's just sort of like people like to give recognition. I think it's out of the goodness of your heart. But what an amazing example. So, and where are you from, by the way? Because I missed that part of it.
So I'm from Glasgow, which is in Scotland.
And now I can't hear you, so I'm waiting. Sorry for the silence, everybody. Okay. That's what I thought. So she's from Glasgow, so I'm Scottish. So we're from the Isle of Skye, my family.
Wow.
Yeah, so we have a lot of relatives that came from the whole Northern European, the UK area. So I love your, I know you don't think you have an accent, but to those of, and I'm sure I have a weird accent to you.
No, I love an American accent. So.
Great. So let's talk about you working with your mom. And so my daughter works with me as well. So she's 24. So how has that, you kind of have two different paths you go. So she's doing more of the property investing and flipping. Is that correct? And then you're doing the staging, or is she now more involved in your business?
So my mom used to have her own business. She used to train car dealers and customer service. Once I started to get really busy around about 17, she then left her business to join me. So we both run the property stagers together. We're not doing so much property investment at the moment, just more so the staging of the properties throughout the UK. And, we get on so well. We live together, we work together. We're pretty much together every hour of the day. So I guess it's pretty good that we got on well. We're like best friends. So it really is, a dream come true to work with her. And a lot of people say, do you fall out? Do you have arguments? And of course there is like some stressful moments and there's some trying days. But in the main, we get on really, really well. And yeah, it's just, I work with my brother as well. So he's a stager for the company. So it's a dream come true getting to work with my mum and my brother every day. It's so much fun.
I know I can relate. I was going to say your brother. Yes. I think having a family business, something that can help support the family. And when I got started, I didn't know that staging would be able to provide that. This was 2002. And I just hoped I could help offset some of the money we were losing when my husband's income he was a salesperson for computers, high tech. And they cut his salary by a third. And that was livable income, and they were going to make it up in commission. So I thought we need to make that up. So I thought I'll go out and I'll start something that's creative. And we'll leave the kids behind. And who knew back then how big staging could get? And so I've definitely involved the kids through the years. I think it's awesome when a family can do that. And usually it's the mother building it and then bringing the kids in. So you're definitely a different situation as well. And I think it's really cool. So it's a business where you can have a lot of different facets from, whether your brother helps stage or your mom, or there could be the tech side. So how do you run your business? Do you have other people in operations, maybe running the warehouse? Talk about your structure for everybody listening.
Yeah, so the business is set up with myself and my mum's that I do a lot of the marketing and the events and do a lot of speaking events and I manage the social media accounts. My mum manages speaking to clients, bringing in new business, agreeing deals and also managing the team members. We then have two stagers, which one is my brother, and then also one of our amazing stagers, Claire. And these are the guys that go out to every property and they put in the cushions, the artwork, and they style the property. We also have two in-house artists who paint all the artwork. So that's incredible. And we also have a delivery team. We have a few delivery teams that work obviously all over the country and they deliver and build and install the furniture. So yeah, it's a team of 10 and we all work really well together. And I mean, we drive some days we're in Glasgow and then we're in London, which is like 7 hours away. So yeah, it's a massive operation, but it's really nice working together with everyone.
So is a W-18 like an independent contractor in the UK?
Yeah, so our delivery team are like contractors, so we hire them on like a daily basis.
So I'm listening to the answer to the question. So, okay. Okay. So her business is set up. So she has the employees and then she has the independent contractors, people that are not 100% dedicated to her company. So we teach that as well. You can have a mix. I think that's really smart. And I love that you have parceled out too your different roles. And,
Yeah.
you know, those you listening, I know she's young and she understands the social media aspect of it, but how huge is that as far as building your business? Talk about, there's a lot of people that get into staging. They're creative. However, the business side scares them. And then there's a lot of people who are a certain age or older who are frightened of social media. They don't know what to do. And so just give us a couple of your, best tips, if you will, like where do you find the best bang for your time on social media for exposure?
So for social media, that's one of the main ways that I've grown the business. From turning over £30,000 to now well over $1 million. It has been through social media mainly because that's obviously the place you can get the most exposure with the least work. For me, the game has completely changed when I have been on camera. I've started to get our team members on camera, always putting our face to the business and doing walkthroughs of the property. And I think the thing to always remember is just be yourself. It doesn't have to be perfect. We all make mistakes. If you say something that's wrong, just have a laugh. Just don't take yourself too seriously when you're on camera. And a lot of the time people buy not what you do, but who you are and why you do it. So we always try to get across that we absolutely love staging properties. We're interior design enthusiasts and we really love it. And I think that's what a lot of people connect with. So a lot of people phone the business and ask, are you the mum? Are you the daughter? Are you the brother? So it's really nice to have that personal aspect where people actually feel like they know you. So posting videos and also posting photos of your work and then posting a little bit of behind the scenes as well. So in the warehouse, maybe in the vehicle, the vans, we often get like cushions, like 2,000 cushions delivered. So it's always just trying to think of what can I post that people will engage with, that's quite funny, and that we can start a conversation so it's not all very serious.
So I think that's great. The video aspect, and I'm still listening. I'm gonna play this back so I can hear your full answers, but not right now because I don't like the delay. But the video aspect of it, so many people are afraid to be on camera. And I love what you said, just be yourself. I don't know, a few years ago, I remember listening to somebody talking about video and how important it was going to become for business in general, because first it was people would write things on Facebook or they would tweet. It was all text. And then it went to images, photographs. People were loading those on. Those became what people would notice first. And now it's all about video. And people respond more to just an amateur video of you talking or, walking through a house or staging than something that's slick and manufactured. So the number one search engine right now, it's owned by Google, but it's YouTube. And YouTube is all about the video. So those of you watching, if you don't have a YouTube channel, start one. You can upload videos of you staging. You can do slideshows of your work. And this is important because Google Plus was a platform that the circle thing with friends, that was stupid. But the ability to post on your Google Plus profile publicly helped people rise organically in the rankings. And so you would show up and you weren't paying for site optimization or to be found. And that's going away. As of today is the last day. They're going to be shutting that whole thing down as of April. So we have to find a different way to get exposure. So I'm recommending YouTube as one of the platforms because it is very well trafficked and it is a Google product. And so, but you have to be somewhere. So we know Facebook, probably Instagram, you're all over Instagram. And then you have to think about the different demographic groups. So do you do a lot with Snapchat? I know that stuff disappears. So what other platforms do you utilize?
So I'd say that Facebook is certainly our main platform because there is so many property groups on Facebook and our clients are property investors. So I think the aim is always to think, where do my dream clients hang out? Where do they chat? Where do they have conversation? And it's usually on Facebook groups that are around property. So we always try to come from a place of educating and not selling. So educating people on what staging can do for you and your property, how it can make you money, and also giving just some design tips that if people want to stage their properties themselves, how do you do that? So mainly Facebook. We are active on Instagram. I'm starting to look into LinkedIn a lot more because it's more businessy and we're business to business usually. But yeah, we don't use Snapchat. And also House. With House, we've had quite a few inquiries and jobs through that as well. So these are the main ones, but I would say Facebook is still the main one for our target audience. And our target audience is usually a property investor that's over the age of 30 or 40.
Yeah, so the platforms, LinkedIn to me is more of like your professional resume online. So people will qualify you on there. And, I know a lot of people watching, we have LinkedIn profiles and there's groups and things you can join as well. And there's discussions. It's more, to me, it's more, I don't want to use the word cold, but it's kind of more distant than say Facebook, where Facebook on the plus side, there's a lot more personal engagement, but on the negative, there's a lot more personal engagement. People can be kind of, they hide behind the screen. They can get kind of nasty sometimes. So I think all the different platforms having that exposure is super important. And those of you watching, don't be afraid of social media. So you have to have a presence, and that's something that's not going away. And I'm sure some genius kid is working right now on some, a new social media thing that's going to be emerging. You were too young. I don't know if you were born yet when MySpace was out, and that was the precursor to Facebook. And I never had a MySpace page, but some of I think my daughter at the time, this was in the probably early 2000s. Yeah, you weren't even alive. That is so funny. Maybe you're 19 now, so you were born in 2000. Anyway, that completely went away. So Facebook completely took over. And so find ways to engage. I love what you said too about educating. Find ways to share useful, helpful tips to people, because then they see you as a resource and a way to help them achieve what they want to achieve as far as their goals. So kudos to you for really knocking that out of the park. I wanted to talk about areas of challenge. So anything that, as your journey, you started 3 years ago, and let's talk about the F word, fear, that holds a lot of people back. And what did you experience, and how did you get past? Because I know everybody has that in them. And then how did you decide, I'm going to do this anyway? And how did you overcome any challenges you've had in your business?
So yeah, I mean, fear is a massive thing that holds so many of us back. And I guess my initial fear for the first couple of years of my business was my age, that people were going to find out that I was only 16. Because it's not something that I openly shared. It was something I tried to hide. I tried to say that I was older than I was. This is why I got my hair cut so short, to look a bit older. So yeah, it was a massive fear that people wouldn't take me seriously. They would ask, what degree do I have? I don't have a degree. And that they would find me out. And it's almost that feeling of being a fraud. But I guess what I had to do, you just have to live outside your comfort zone. So you need to go to the event and just be wild. I was coming into, meetings with, it's a male-dominated industry, the property industry. And I used to have blonde curly hair, so I would come into the events and I'd stand out. I would wear bright colours, and people would remember me because I was so different to anyone else at that meeting. And I was the one that was talking about, hey, cushions make you more money and sofas will make you money, because property investors tend to be very about the figures. So yeah, it was super challenging. And now I've overcame, different fears. I've spoke at larger events, and there's always that challenge that, people are judging you. You're very open on social media, but I think it's just having that sort of feeling of, I don't really care what anyone thinks, and if it's making me happy, then that's all that matters.
It's interesting because it's sort of like reverse ageism. Yeah. Somebody who's very young, people don't take seriously, and so being able to kind of break that barrier, kind of crash through. And one of the things I've shared, other times that I love about the staging industry is it is not ageist. So to me, it's super impressive that somebody at your age, that's young, finds their passion, is able to build a business. The same somebody who's 65 years old who decides, you know what, I want to use my creativity. I've always wanted to have a business, and they pursue it. And so both sides of the spectrum, people can be successful, and there's that element of people might not take you seriously because you are younger, and that's a legitimate concern. And so you found ways to overcome that, just the same as somebody who might be older, being able to say, I can do this. The physical side of the staging could be a limitation for somebody who's older, but that's why we have young, strong guys to move things around, right?
Yeah.
And the industry is male dominated. You're right. A lot of the investors are men. And so getting them again to take a female business owner seriously, in the staging industry, it's largely dominated by women. So when I got started, there were really no guys doing it that I knew of. And then by about year 3, there were more men, but it definitely is dominated by females. So it's interesting. And is the real estate industry in the UK, United States, women dominate real estate. It used to be men. Now women, there's more female realtors. What is it like in the UK?
I think the UK is still very male dominated. We don't tend to deal with too many estate agents or real estate agents, but investors and also, agents, it does still tend to be more males than females. Of course, there are some females that are completely rocking it. But yeah, it's more males that tend to invest in property and develop them. From my point of view anyway, most of our clients are guys. And I think maybe because guys as well feel like they need a woman's touch in the property, whereas females maybe like to stage it themselves. So yeah, most of our clients are males. So it's definitely male dominated in the UK.
So with the investor side, you touched on the fact that they are more numbers oriented, which is very true. They're all about the bottom line. I work with a lot of investors here, and they're always the ones that are like, Jenny, can you work out a deal for me? I'm not going to make any money on this house. And so I have one guy that he tells me that every single time. And so he referred me to a female investor, and she said to me, she says, don't believe him. He's making plenty of money on these properties. So I think part of it, I think I'm being fed a line, but I also know they are all about the final numbers, when the dust settles, how much are they going to net out of this property that they can then invest in another? So knowing the industry numbers, but also, do you track your business numbers? And if, I'm sure you do, what numbers are you tracking on an annual basis that then you turn around and share from a marketing perspective?
Yeah, so we stage for sale in an area in Scotland mainly, and what we've really tried the market with different prices, so we've been quite expensive, and we found out that we were losing so much business doing that. People were doing it themselves. So with our staging for sale package, we've now created sort of like a base price, and it's a package. You don't get any more than the package unless you pay more, and you don't get any less in the package. And that's really worked. We've grown that side of the business by 500% in the past couple of months, just sticking to that price because it's really affordable. We're not losing money, we're making good money, but it's just at the right price point. So that for me has taken 3 years to come up with that deal and really stick to it. I've tried, like I said, higher prices and lower prices, but I found that we're just at the right price point. So I think it is really important to track that over a space of time to see if you're doing well or if you're too expensive. And then also looking at your competitors in the area as well and looking at what they're charging and also their level of service. So I think that's really important.
So, and then pricing yourself is really wise. So when I went to your site, I saw I think I saw 3-tiered pricing. So, the strategy, a lot of times we learn here, like, don't put pricing on your website or, make sure to have that conversation. When it comes to investors, I think they're sort of a different animal, and they like to know, because they have to budget up front for their properties. So they need to know, this is how much going to be, this is my plan for the renovation, and, whatever has to happen. And then when it comes to staging, which is the part of the marketing of the property, that's how much I'm going to be investing. So they need to be able to plan for it. So she said her business increased 500%, which is awesome. And then being able to know, I look back at the end of each year and I see how many projects did we do, what was the percent increase year over last, as far as growth. And then seeing, did revenue grow or is it just numbers? So for example, if your number of properties you're staging increased, but your revenue didn't, that means your prices dropped overall. So those are things you want to take a look at, and then being able to respond to the market, I think, is really smart. So you've taken some other business seminars as well, and I saw that Tony Robbins, you came out, and you were awarded something in Las Vegas. So talk about a couple of the, I don't know how you feel about tooting your own horn, but Barb Schwartz, who you'll meet hopefully someday, public the conference, she said years ago, if you don't toot your own horn, you're going to remain in a state of untootedness. So toot toot, and it's not like ego. So we want to hear, because you're very accomplished, so share some of the things that you've received.
Yeah, so last year, which was 2018, we received 5 awards as a company, which was really exciting. I was Young Scottish Businesswoman of the Year in 2 different categories. And we also actually accepted an international award for our service to the property industry. So we were accepted into the Hall of Fame in Las Vegas. So that was really exciting. And just from a marketing point of view as well, it's so important to have that side for your business. Apply for awards, get people to nominate you, get your clients to give you testimonials. It's the most powerful sort of, marketing you can have, that validation from a third party. So yeah, it was such a fun year. We're nominated for another 2 awards this month. We've been approached by TV. We've got a lot of exciting things in the pipeline. But I'd say that none of this would have happened had I not got myself educated in business and, continued to personally develop myself, because I think when you're so busy in your business, it is really easy to leave that behind. So yeah, definitely, you still need to always be learning as well.
So I'm listening. Yeah, so having that foundation first, where you attended this, it all started with going to that seminar that kind of planted the seed. And then I know you've also done like Tony Robbins. And so it's understanding being the professional, staying motivated in your business. And then, but the recognition is definitely well-deserved. And so I think that's awesome that, you know, you are finding an audience, or they have found you, I should say. I expected you, if they're stupid, the producers over there, they got to get you on TV. I think you would be an awesome television show. And I know we don't have a lot of time to go into totally everything, but what I love about the younger generation coming in, there's a lot of people, they call you the Gen Z, and you're the plugged in generation. So you guys have had access to plugged in devices and so forth from the time you were born. And when I did some research for the buyer trends specialist designation, that generation, some of the things they predict to come from you: entrepreneurs, nomads. So they said this generation may not stay put in one place. They like to move around. You want to have a global impact on the world. You want to help change the world. And so check, check, check. You've done all three, right? And so those people who are watching, you know, please make sure to share the segment. But if you have, you know, young people in your life that are sort of struggling, like, where do I fit in? What am I going to do? That's, I mean, most kids are like, you know, some kids are like, I'm going to be a doctor when I grow up, or a fireman. There's a lot of people that they just don't know. And they're on a certain path, like you have to go to college, get a degree, get a job. And here's an industry that does not require that. And all it takes is the hard work and, I think, a strong belief. So how much, and I you know, it's sort of a rhetorical question, but how much is attitude play into your success?
Well, I think attitude is absolutely everything. It's so important. I would not be where I am today. I wouldn't have those awards had I not worked 18-hour days, had I not, you know, there were so many days that I wanted to give up and, you know, pack it all in and shut down the business and just get a job, because wouldn't that be a lot easier in a lot of ways? But yeah, having the right mental attitude and having especially the right people around you, that for me has been a game changer. I love the quote that you are the person you spend you're the five people that you spend the most time with is who you become, basically. So I think it's really important to have positive people around you. It's great if they're also business owners, because you can learn from them as well. And also, yeah, it's just always exercising your brain and staying grounded as well, because when you have success, you can get very fade away with yourself, but it's always remembering, where did I start and where am I now, and practicing gratitude as well. For me, gratitude is the most important thing of my day, to say I'm so thankful for XYZ. I'm thankful that I have a business, for my clients. I think once you practice that, you'll stop focusing on what you don't have and what you actually do have.
Yeah, I think being grateful for opportunities, for sure. I love, you know, they say who you surround yourself with, definitely the 5 people you are with the most. So those people listening and watching, you know, think about who in your life is influencing you in that manner. And, you know, I call, when we talk about, we teach in classes and so forth, that not everybody's going to be super excited for you and supportive. Sometimes it's from jealousy. Sometimes it's just, they just don't understand the industry. They might be concerned because being an entrepreneur, it is risky. And having that, the security of a job, there are people that's really the path that they want to take, and they don't understand the entrepreneur. But however, not letting people steal your dream or keep you down. So surrounding yourselves with people who are going to be like-minded, success-focused, and encourage you is super important. And sometimes that's your family, sometimes it's not your family. So those, you know, I think our associations, your colleagues, there's, you know, we're not meeting, I've never met you in person, but, you know, certainly with social media, there's a lot of people who can encourage and support each other in that method as well. So, and I, you know, the 18-hour days, I'm glad you said that, because I think a lot of people think, oh, it just comes easily, or it just, business falls in your lap. There's a lot of marketing that has to happen, and there are a lot of hours that go in. And so being able to persevere through that, especially at a young age, when a lot of your counterparts are playing video games, or, you know, hanging out with their friends, and you're working away. So let's talk just a little bit about you're going to be coming in the fall to Nashville. So I'm very excited, and just share just a little nugget about what your topic is going to be.
So yeah, I think for me, one of the best topics that I could talk about is growing your home staging business. Because I really have started a business with absolutely no money to start with, and also no experience having run a business before, or also any design experience. So it'll be a lot of the fundamentals that go into growing the business. I've grown my business from £30,000 turnover per year to over $1 million. So that alone, there's so many things that had to happen there. And I think it's really important as well to share our mistakes and things that we've done wrong, because I've done a lot of that. So many mistakes. And I think with sharing that, it's really important for other people to hear that. Hopefully, people will be able to learn from mistakes and not make the same ones. But also hearing some of the things that went well for me and which we still practice today.
Yeah, and I think that's important to share, not only just all the good, but to share the things that happen along the journey, and things that you share will help other people perhaps avoid, or maybe if they experience it, they'll say, well, okay, I'm in good company.
Yeah,
exactly. So her topic we plan on having is to be, I don't want to say like beginner, but we're going to have on the main stage and one of the breakouts as a beginner topic, because we found our last conference about half the attendees were newer in the business. And so being able to hear somebody's journey from where you started and where you are now in such a short period of time as well is going to be really, really great. So I don't know what happened with the technology today with Be Live, but I had you in my ear, and I'm sorry for the delay, but I'm glad everybody else could hear well. So again, those of you watching, please share the segment so we get as big of a reach as we can. Thank you, Liv, for being on. Yeah, and I know I'm going to see you in October, if not sooner. So anyway, we'll be chatting, and I love that you are who you are and what you're doing for the industry over there. And we know a lot of more big things will be coming from you. You're going to be a star in the staging world, and just it's wonderful. So thanks so much for being on. Any last words for the viewers?
Well, first of all, thank you so much for having me. When I started in business, there was not really, in the UK, there was nothing like this that actually existed. So from finding you guys, it has been really warmed my heart to hear that there's other people that are going through the same thing, have a similar type of business, and I'm super excited for Nashville. I've always wanted to go to Nashville. I'm a massive country music fan. So yeah, I look forward to meeting everyone that watched there and sharing in a great experience together.
Well, thank you so much, and we'll be in touch. Say goodbye, everybody. Bye, Liv. Thank you so much.
Bye.
All right, so that was our segment for today, and again, it's live, so you just have to roll with the punches, and I have no idea why the audio wasn't working on my end to hear her. So I'm so glad you guys could hear her. Again, please share the segment. I think it'd be a great one for people who have younger people in their lives that are perhaps on a path, maybe they are creative, they could start a business, and we can definitely help them. We have lots of resources, and they don't have to struggle. And it's nice to be able to see somebody who's gone before, and she's one of several that we're going to be featuring on the Home Staging Talk Show Live. So you'll get to hear another story next week. We'll be interviewing Joseph Sipp, and so he has a huge business out of Orlando, a similar story to Liv's as far as how he got involved and so forth and what he's done with his business. So we're going to be excited to talk to him next week. And until then, you guys have a great week with your businesses, and go out there and be inspired and inspire other people. And we'll talk to you all next week. Thanks, everybody. Bye.